Yeah, NCW. Here what is going on. You remember last year, right, coming up to election time, you had reached out to me and tell me you want a stage like a robbery for like you get robbed, right? You remember you give me $5,000 cash, right? And me and two other men, right, make it look like we take your van and we ditch it, right? NCW is a fraud. He's a liar. And here what is going on. I want to let the public know that who you really is. Right? You remember you pay me 5,000 cash. Right? And me and three men make it, we make it look like you get robbed. We take your van. Eh? You remember that? Okay. Yeah, NCW. Here what is going on. You remember last year, right, coming up to election time, you had reached out to me and tell me you want a stage like a robbery for like you get robbed, right? You remember you give me $5,000 cash, right? And me and two other men, right, make it look like we take your van and we ditch it, right? NCW is a fraud. He's a liar. And here what is going on. I want to let the public know that who you really is, right? You remember you pay me 5,000 cash, right? And me and three men make it, we make it look like you get robbed. We take your van. Eh? You remember that? Okay.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Renison Jeffrey, and this is the Workers' Rights Platform. We are broadcasting live on the Workers' Rights Network. Today, Trinidad and Tobago is the 16th of the 6th month, 2026. And today, Trinidad and Tobago, we are here to discuss facts. We are here, Trinidad and Tobago, as always, to bring the truth for you. And just like everybody else here on this live, tell them to join the live, tell them to tap the screen. Because tonight we are going to deliver some profound truths. We will never be distracted concerning what is going on here in this country. We will never be distracted about what is going on here in Trinidad and Tobago. Oh, Trinidad and Tobago. We will not be distracted. Yes, let me bring up people on the live one time. As all you come up, mute the mic. Now, we would have seen time and time again, Trinidad and Tobago, that people would have presented themselves to speak on behalf of this government. Despite what they say in the media, they defend them tooth and nail and will make excuse on excuse to defend what we know to be foolishness, what we know to be advantage, and what we know to be dictatorship. And before we touch on the electricity list, tonight we are here. We are going to bring up Mr. Wint. We are going to talk about the facts. But before that, Trinidad and Tobago, there is a statement that would have taken place here in this country where Mr. Wint would have talked about NCW. And it's not only frightening, it is very disturbing. So before we bring up Mr. Wint here tonight, let me, Trinidad and Tobago, play the tape that my boy would have said in the defense of Kamla Prasad Bisesa. Yes. And after that, Trinidad and Tobago, we will bring up Mr. Wint. Yes, we will bring up Mr. Wint here tonight. And then we will open the panel where all of us could question Mr. Wint. And we are going to take phone calls. So write down that number you see on the screen. And those that is in our YouTube channel, subscribe to the channel, send it, because on TikTok here, when we are broadcasting live, the live does go after. So you can follow us on TikTok, Workers' Rights 868, or you can follow us on Facebook, Workers' Rights 868, or you can follow us on Instagram, Workers' Rights 868, Trinidad and Tobago. Yes. So let's bring up the talk here with NCW. Let's bring up NCW's statement in which he would have said, we will play this thing entirely, and then we will bring up Wint, and then we will go into this thing that Kamla would have proclaimed within the parliament. And today, Trinidad and Tobago, we would have found out it to be a lie. NCW.
So this one is for all the people, the few people who defending Kareem, which is bullshit. And I have to say, y'all just show, the few of all you who hanging on to that thread is just showing that y'all are no different than him. Y'all taking time out y'all busy schedule to say, he tell no lie, it's true. Well, let me break down the facts. If it's them against we and we against them, how everything that I experienced in my life, bad, came from somebody who looked like me. The person who held me up and robbed me looked like me. The person who break in my house looked like me. The person who trying to double cross me looked like me. The person who bringing me down on social media every day who never met me in my life looked like me. The person who calling me lick bottom African looked like me. The person who calling me sellout looked like me. The person who saying I singing for my supper look like me. How the so-called them, how I don't have one story of some the so-called them people doing me something wrong? So that alone prove that his statements was wrong and it's a lie. Because not only me, I have a lot of friends who openly will say the people who help them the most in this life don't look like us. Because we have a hidden agenda of pulling down ourselves. You have a political affiliation, I have mine. I was never with you all, but I sell out. How? Why? You could be respected. You could sing for your supper. All the people who talking PNP there, they could say that. And they're not singing for the supper. But if I support my party and talk about my party, I singing for my supper. So how is one rule for you and the next for me? Because why? Systemically, you put me in a category because I look like this. I supposed to.
So, Trinidad and Tobago, we go carry on this thing further. Now, we are went here. We are went here on the live. So, what we will do is, Mr. Wint, are you there? Mr. Wint. Come now, man, Wint, man. Unmute your mic now. Unmute your mic. Any jail is this boy?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Last night.
Blessed night, Mr. Wint. I mean, people come here because they want to hear the full scope of the story. Let me hear what would that take place, because that man done started say a lie and a lie and a lie and a lie. Go ahead.
No, I do play game with people, right? Yeah, I do play game, right? I don't play game, right? Here you going for last year for the election, right? I was rolling hard with NCW them. I went all over the place with them, I campaign with them. Right. He had reached out to me and stating that here we're going, here I'm organize some men to put on a fake robbery because election time was coming close and we was in an SOE. Right? I organize it. Me shame to say. I organize it. Right? I get him and them. Yeah, we went and we check him. Right? He give me $5,000 stamp shop between me and the two men. Right? And he instruct me way to pay vehicle. Right? It was no man and no surgical mask. Right? The man who brace him, he play like, kind of frighten. He pass the keys, and we take the car and carry down in Diamondville. Right? Me and lie for that. But what make me come out is when he started to talk about black people and it's black people that rob him and break his place and take his thing. You understand me? Where I will find out, right? The Indians don't do rob. The Chinese don't rob. The Syrians don't rob. You're just labeling our narratives, you understand me? Black people, right? The government tear this country apart, divide it, right? And fellas like them just continue pushing on a narrative. And I say, I have nothing to tell us. I done live for 53 years. I have a government job. I prone to victimization. But I hear him saying some apologize and I take down some video. A lawyer reach out to me and tell me take it down. A lawyer, a permanent attorney, reach out to me and when take it down. Right now, I know do a live there. And a man came up as a guest and say, confirm that NCW, I wasn't the only man that NCW was looking for. Probably the price he was looking for, man was calling more than that. Right? I went all over the place with him. I went the Matara birthday thing that I just after the election. And he make a video stating that how he has meet me in town and give me money. Die cover tax.
Right? Philip is the same thing.
Die cover tax. I be honest, die cover tax. Right? People reach out to me and tell me that they want to talk to me. If they want to come and talk to me, or you come where I am here. Right? Yeah. So it's no fabrication. I look at fabricate any man because I roll with him. I tell him, I mean say no. I tell him, but where I was say he talking, he looking to file lawsuit, right? I don't have a problem with that. I just go for the arch rule. I never mentioned the federal government name. NCW.
Jason, we hear them echoing in your mic. We hear them echoing. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, go ahead, Wind.
Yeah. He's stating that he's going to sue me. He's stating he's going to sue me and I need to try to pull the distance, right? No. I want him to know that I wasn't born in Woodbrook. I wasn't born in LSE Park. I was born East Dry River. And the people love me up here. Right? So wherever the cause you decide to take, I prepare for that, right? Now you're talking lawsuit, right? Is NCW on your birth paper? Is that on your ID card? Is that on your driver's permit? Right? My attorney let them know. Let me just watch and see if he sue you, we go and counter swim. Right? People need to wake up and smell the coffee. And let me stand up and unite other people because that's the only how some can happen.
So he come to you with $5,000 and say he wanted to stage a robbery.
Yeah, to try to make it look alright. The PNM call a SOE and it ain't working because when we were last year election we was in a SOE. Right. And I'm talking about SOE in the solve crime. But the same SOE
all you come and almost a year and more, you take away we rights and NCW and people like Starks and this big nasty almost sexual who feels a man. All you going on pushing us around narrative. But as I say, my new strategy, you know, you see the bloggers and them, I looking to assassinate them on media.
Right.
For that, the dead coming back here. Dead.
Because
Right?
when I don't want them to say, because you know nasty and sting this government is. I don't want them to go ahead with the narrative that you want to kill people. You will assassinate them on social media. That
Words.
Right.
I'm not promoting violence. So if you notice, my set of videos, the last set of videos I point up, right? It now obscenities and cussing. No, and I say what's going on. It's better you attack the bloggers, social media. Bring them down. Discredit them.
So when the next thing that they go say is if you're getting paid to do that. That is what they go ask.
I ain't get no pay, I get paid to stage a fake robbery.
Okay.
Right? No, people saying, but I can get charged. Me never went and make no report. Anybody waste the court time is NCW. Me no fool, no. I have a book, the law book that governs every Commonwealth country, right? Including we, right? We in the Commonwealth, that's the Arch Bowl. I just read that. I have it on my book. I have it on my phone, and I will advise any right-thinking citizen to get that. All you can see with all your rights, we all entitled to. You understand me? The war infractions decide to come and peace the external olive branch, and all you refuse it. Let's be real. Look, Curry Marcel make a statement, right? It wasn't a racial statement, a statement where people are fed up. All you don't like we don't like all you.
So the sentiments on the ground when I know we hearing, the reason why I opening up the lines here where I hear we hear a little music in the background, but the message is still being remitted. So what is the sentiments of the people in Port of Spain when they hear the message of Curry Marcel? Where is the sentiments?
The people stand with him.
Right.
Most people stand with him.
Right.
Right? It got who go, all right, like them are the narratives, all right, thing, but they believe, they stand with him. I stand with him too. He never say, we hate all the Indians. He say, all you don't like we, and we don't like all you, which is only fair. Because if you don't like me, I can't like you.
If somebody could take a set up like he set up Kevon and get Kevon killed.
Well, brother man, there's a serious thing with Ian Kevon, but we will bring back that again. We will bring the individual that have all the facts concerning that.
I prepare for that.
Anytime the touch fucking wins, all of them going home.
I prepare for that. I have the people on the ground with me. Right? So, anytime anything happens to me violently, it surely will have repercussions, right?
So when, just for the people of this life, because this thing going all up the Caribbean, all up Grenada, all up the place, just for the people to hear what going on the ground. What did the people say when Curry Marcel make the statement? Did they side with him? That's what people want to hear.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Right, the side with Curry Marcel. Now, I know your partner with Jason, because I put Jason on because let me hear from Jason. Jason is a man that's come in and come out. Let me hear from Jason, because Jason are your own thing over there.
Talk to me.
Jason, what you think about this whole situation? I know you're enjoying yourself, but before you come off that.
Come like the same thing with Philip. That come like the same thing with Philip. Men come and embrace me. Men let me know, dog. They say send you home, but you used to feed my homeless mother down by the food drive, so I co-sign them. Like be real. And they take the fucking money. They take the money and then do nothing. Them get robbed multiple times trying to send people at me, but they can't come for the people they rob. But you know what they do? The people that they pay, now they in the detention center. So they know who they lock up, they know who they use, and they know who they put in the detention center when they don't try to use them. Imagine that.
Jason, wait, use Amanda's talking parables. What you talking about exactly? Because I know, you know, because
When
people
they
might...
pay the hitmen to come for me
Right.
after election, when Filthy Felicia didn't like how I speak out because 60 people wrong by me who campaign with him get fired the day after they win the election. You understand? From the little CPEP work. Multiple times you tell me bring paperwork for you, you bring a little one hamper, we split it into 3 gay single mothers. But you're running to make video about you was mining me. Let be real, you run quite in Gonzales and try to get somebody to come for me in the 6th zone. You make a man leave the 6th zone and come over in the 7th zone for me. Just to tell me boy on you, you know. But they wanted me to be on you, I take the money, them is clung. I remember when you was doing your food drive down my best son street, my mother was down there. That what the man tell me. So them could never come to me with no ranking thing. Them thirsty. Them trying to get rid of people who they used to get in power now. That will always burn them down. Now they want to target went. Yep, he damn well paid the man. And we don't identify nobody who was in no car at no point in time to nobody. Let he identify who he pay. Because you know who he pay. And see that guilty video the man make? All ever see make a video without confidence like that? Watch how the man looking in the video. He feeling sick.
The man who come on my
So,
man now
so
on Batch Live earlier, before we come on this, a man come and say Batch is not the only person he try to pay.
by God.
Them fellas wanted more money. People wanted 20,000 when they raised them.
So Jason, so what you are saying is that you sure ministers try to pay people to perform a hit on you. That's what you say.
Now, but you seen it in living day life.
Right.
But you seen it.
Right.
They feel like going and do now, they're going and try to come for you. You know they beat you and Harry in City Gate, in the Jeep, in the station, on the way to the hospital, kind quite a rima, beat him up there. On the way back down the road, he started to get seizures. You understand? Not sickle cell, no. Seizures. Then the kind Port of Spain general. The kind quite a rima for drive. Now I don't agree with where he stay. Then people in the country have their own God they're praying to. But the law is the law. Them not supposed to take it into their own hand. And at the end of the day, these blackhead chicken, African police beat him. I get the full details. African police beat him. Imagine that. All that talk about he don't want no East Indian nurses and he refuse all of that. All of that is lie. They painting the man as a complete racist with the press. Because of what he say. So they bad beating him. Now they extend the SOE, so the whole any until the SOE, whenever the SOE done. Roger Alexander recently come out and say how much had. It's 465 was charged out of like 3,000. Now I had to ask the viewers here, what these rest of people doing sit down in the jail? Who buying books for these children to go back to school? Why the breadwinners sitting in the jail? People had to wake up. It have people, single mothers coming to me to say something. My husband ain't coming home. Children coming to me. I thought daddy coming home. I thought SOE nearly done. I asked Auntie Kamala to let go my daddy. People not being charged, being held. The rights to go before a magistrate is being suspended. The rights to a lawyer is being suspended. The rights to prove if they're innocent or guilty is being suspended. It's not like they get arrested, they get charged, and they're paying the price, you know. They just get arrested, that's it. No charge. Sit down in the detention center. Your whole life reckon, you have bills piling up out here. You have multiple issues to deal with in your life out here. Children growing with out here. And she extending the SOE so they can keep paying day longer. We go wake up when it's too late, and I'm sorry, you know. We as a people need a nationwide shutdown and not no jokey nationwide shutdown. It's either that or a national march where we're not going home till we get what we want. It's simple as that. This thing with marching and going home can't work anymore. Port Woodford Square, 1 million. Crowd everything in Port of Spain. We staying out there. The police can't control, 8,000 police can't control that. The army can't control that. But Matthew, Mark, Luke and John have so. Them could care less about more with the gimpy leg Them could care less about Cliff. Them could care less about Patsy with the 4 children who not working she whole life because she had no education, but the father was bringing in the bread. So while citizens continue to support this stupid SOE, I hope they're thinking, your neighbor's son lock up for nothing. Your son lock up for nothing. Your brother lock up for nothing. Your father lock up for nothing. He not getting charged. He not getting any rights. And while he rights suspended in there, all of the rights suspended out here. And all of the other rights, they could go in anybody's house and they extend the SOE. I want somebody to make a list of the last year's news footage to tell me how much people in Goodwood Park House they went in, how much people in Valsyn, in Fairways, in the 1% zones where they're afraid to go when they don't have no SOE. Now it's SOE, they don't need no warrant. How come they still search in the places that it is always search when it's no SOE? Lavantel is a place always searching right through. See, that is a place always searching right through. Beaton, Belmont, Harp, Shafford. Why all they searching the same places? I thought the SOE used to get all the extra powers so they could go places all they do venture. One search away also over El Socorro. Check boxes. That is all they had open city industrial estate. See who warehouse place complex full with guns in a container. Because these little poor black boys that they're blaming all the crime on don't own no boat. We don't have no link down on the port. We can't bring in no container guns. All they're targeting retailers and not wholesalers. Kamala, all they need to target the wholesalers, not the retailers on the ground, who might end up with a gun in a war that all they manipulate up. Now the war done, all they're pushing it still. Black people responsible. Black boys between 16 and 34, good to go. They're good to get bullet from the police because they're black. Look at policeman commit suicide today again. Wow. How much police commit suicide since UNC in power? We die in Grandy. Wow, skeptical station where police is bust police head. Let it be real, police hanging themselves, counselors hanging themselves, all they need to wake up. Public assassination after public assassination. She come and she on the podium and burn down one media group instead of burning down all. Because she don't know, hey, that media group in we pockets, them over there is the PNM. That is what they do there, you know. The nurses is PNM because only black nurses was in the march. Yeah. But when Marvin go and say it, or he shouldn't say it how he say it because he's a politician, it racist. The march with Joshua Samaru is an Indian. How much Indians was down there? Indian people can get vexed with me. I don't care if they vex with me. How much all they was there? Because secretly all they run into each other and ball and do support them black people with a mad march, you know. Don't go out there, you know. And it's all our rights all we fighting for. We fighting for all the rights, so all the door back all the rights.
Yeah.
Well, Jason, I know you is a man that's give your 2 cents. But when we have to say, we forget to say because there are other people on the show we want to get their perspectives on what's taking place. What you forget to say because people wanted to hear this live here today.
Well, where I say, I don't say already, and I say me continue, me ain't stopping until this government come down. Yeah.
Well, it is that win. Well, thanks for coming up. I know you're liming. Go ahead and lime. We have other people here on this thing here. Thanks for showing up, Win.
Anytime, right?
Yes, brother. Well, people are Trinidad and Tobago, you don't see what's taking place here. Now, we have a list of people on the panel. Starting with this evening, starting with Anaska Naman. She all she camera swap and she a big for her to see. So, good afternoon, Miss Anaska Naman. Good afternoon. Come now, man. You think your camera sticking all kind of thing. Send the thing a little bit. Let me put you.
Good night. Good night. Good night.
So you hear the commentary that would have taken place today, Miss Anushka. What you have to say concerning that?
It is sad. it is sad that God would allow himself to go that far to create this scenario to paint his own people. You creating a scenario to cast aspersions on your own people that we are the majority doing the crime. We are the majority who are criminals, the majority who who are, the ones involved in crime. Just to put our government in power. You would stoop so low. You would go and remove all your morals and standards just to perpetuate a lie. How low can you go? You feeling good about yourself? You feeling good? You did all of that to cast aspersions on your own people. And now it blow up in your face. It's good for you. It good. It good. I hope I hope the CTPS is looking on, because that you broke a lot of laws there. So I'm watching. I want to see if the TTPS will issue a statement regarding this, because some laws were broken there. You fabricated that entire story. You hired people to go and steal your car. You did all of that. All of that for 50 pieces of silver. How you feeling? How you feeling about yourself? I'm so ashamed. I am so ashamed of you. No government, nobody would make me stoop so low and make me lose my standard. Where's your shame? And your children? Goodness. This is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. Twiggy wouldn't even do something like that. And you are allowing yourself to be used like this. They are going to discard you because you will become a liability to them. If this reaches the TTPS, you will become a liability to them and you will lose what they give to you. I wonder, did you think about that? If those allegations are true and the TTPS gets a hold of you, they will let you go. You would have went on to talk about the people who crying you down is black people. The people who break upon your
Bluetooth
home.
disconnected.
Have no shame. You have no shame as a brother. You're seeing people suffering. You're seeing people without jobs. And you just continuing the agenda that they gave you. Continuing to spin this
Bluetooth
narrative.
connected.
How long you will go on so? How long you will go on so? This is a wake-up call, brother. Cease and desist what you're doing. Take stock of yourself. Take a step back. Take a step back. Because this thing just blow up in your face and it's making you look. You ain't looking good. You're not looking good. If what the brother is saying is true, that is not looking good. That is. Words cannot express how disgusting that is. All for your personal gain. All of that was for your personal gain. You went so far, even telling them where to put the vehicle and whatnot, and you left your keys in the car. Jesus! All of that for money? All that for position? Again, I would like to hear what the TTPS has to say. And if this is true, I'm telling you, you will lose everything that you worked hard for. That's a scandal. That is a scandal. You cried on your own people.
It's just
You
showing
make us
that you
look
all are
so
no different.
bad. You make us look so bad. And now look at you. You any better? Are you any better? You masterminding that whole thing. You any better? Shame. Let this be an example. Never stoop so low for anything. Never allow people to manipulate you like that. Never allow yourself to be used like that. Stand strong. Your ancestors would have fought so hard, and I'm sure they're rolling over in the grave. I am embarrassed. I am ashamed. And for somebody who in the past you would speak motivational things, I watch your body language. You're looking like you're guilty. This whole thing blow up in your face. This is sad. This is sad, and it just goes to show what people will do, how low people will go just for power, just for money. Let this be a lesson. Let this be a lesson to our people. Work hard for what you want, and don't allow anybody to manipulate you like that. Don't allow anyone to put you in a position where you have to fabricate lies and assemble people to Jesus. That's the worst I have ever seen so far. Apart from all the covert racism, this is the worst. This is the worst. And there's nothing else. Your credibility gone. Your credibility gone. I go and unblock you. I don't want to see nothing from you. And I really hope I am waiting again. I'm waiting to hear what the TTPS has to say. Did this fella break any laws? That is my contribution.
Wow. So Trinidad and Tobago, you hear it from the beautiful and this kind of man, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's always had this type of tongue twister. So Trinidad and Tobago, there are some other speakers on set. We have, let me hear from Scorpion. Scorpion, what you have to say? Scorpion, I hear. Turn off your mic, turn on your mic, let me hear what you're saying, this Scorpion. Scorpion, well, I go just have to wait. Xavier, what is your contribution here tonight? I mean, you would have heard the whole thing. What's your contribution here tonight?
As a matter of fact, I sent it for you last night after the program done. I sent it for you last night. I don't know if you realize that. Nevertheless, people like NCW, so, you know, I want to go a bit prehistory to say people like NCW is one of the main reasons why slavery happened and happened for 400 years. And not just 400 years, why we were so easy to capture, why we were so easy to be sold and so easy to be bought out. NCW, people like NCW is a main reason for that. Back in the days of slavery and massa, he would have been what you consider a house slave. Getting scrums, you know, being able to sleep in the gallery and feel that he is better than other slaves. Just imagine you go so far, make a video criticizing your own, have the most unscrupulous thing to say about your own race. And you is a mastermind of a conspiracy bringing down your own in this type of way. Boy, all the fellas are so foolish. Like, you know, I used to really look at some of these videos now and go and laugh or whatever, but to me now, everything adds up. You are a joke, brother. You are a joke. And what is so frightening, these are the people who are sitting on state board. If you could conspire in that colossal way, what you are doing on state board, what you could be doing on state board, where really and truly no one accounting to anybody, what you doing on state board, what you could be doing on those state board. This is so alarming in so way. But I want to go back to one thing where Anaska said. There's a charge in the law book that says wasting police time. I wonder if the police is going to take into account that is evident in this case. Because I watched that video last year when he say, see Trinidad and Tobago, why we have to vote out this government. I was just robbed and whatever. Just imagine, you find back your vehicle before the police found it back at that particular time. Before the police found it, at that particular time. Because nobody not coming up and showing their face and talking so explicitly could tell you how much money was paid, what deal gone down, willing to show the face again to Trinidad and Tobago to be seen by all on sundry. And you could come out and say that fella lying. That fella is not lying. They can hear the man talking vividly about what happened. And I want to say, NCW, if I was you, shame. You see that W in your name stands for wickedness. It's about other thing I could give you where the C and the N stands for, but you see that W? That W stands for wickedness. You are a wicked individual. And as Anaska said, the ancestors who fought for you, they must be turning in their grave. I hope sometime you go and you apologize, because you make video really bringing down your own to satisfy the taste of others. Shame on you. You are a house slave. If I see you today or tomorrow or anytime, I will just tap you on the shoulder and say, you is the biggest house slave. You are a house slave of today. And the white man would have enjoyed you many, many, many years ago. Not because they love you, because they could work you conveniently, spending $5,000. You can imagine that $5,000 to bring down your own time. Why didn't you put cameras in your house to see who was coming to check your significant other? You should have do that. You should have do that at that point in time than to think that they say, man, I come to my black people, I'm very passionate. I know we have our shortcomings, but don't bring down my people. Don't bring down my people when you, as a black man, playing a part in bringing down my people unjustifiably because you eating as crumbs on the outside. Disgust in many ways. I'll leave it there for now.
My God. So it are more people here on the live here. Again, there are more people on the panel just now. They would have tried to get up Scorpion, but Scorpion, I don't know what's going on with Scorpion on that side. Scorpion, are you there?
Yeah, I went. Sorry about that. I went and get something to munch on the.
Right.
And I'll come back there.
Right. So
I don't have much to talk. I don't have much to say about on this matter already now because I ain't really follow up that now. But you want in Sunny Grande. Okay, get a little thing on that when they ready, when they reach on that topic.
Okay. I understand what you mean. But as I say that, we have Chatta here. Chatta, what's your contribution on this matter here tonight? You know he's a man that always had the thing going. Let me hear what is your contribution on the matter.
Yeah, good night, Mr. Jeffrey. Good night to everybody on the panel. Good night our listeners on YouTube and on TikTok as well, right? People are now coming out to see the true colors of NCW. I know NCW for a great period, and I know all NCW tricks, all he lies, all he deceits. So this is not new to me. You understand? Because like I said last night, when election was coming around, NCW recruit a set of us and promise us jobs. He said that how he will speak to the ministers and them to get us in the corporation. He promised some of us to get in T and Tech. You understand? He take information from us, personal information, and when election come and go on and we calling him, the man switch off his phone. He must be change his phone number. So all these things is not new. You understand? And just before his vehicle went missing, I have said this countless times on this program. A black Parado came up and gave NCW $40,000. You understand? And when we asked him what that for, he said that is to do business. And out of that $40,000, we are filming a video down in the Blue Basin River showing how the PNM has neglected the Gomartin people, and we was filming a video down there. And it was 5 of us, and he gave all of us $100 each for making that video with him. You understand? For holding the camera and you know? And then after a week later, we come and hear he get robbed, but we didn't know it was staged. You understand? And being this is a man who's sitting on the state board, I want to know what step the Prime Minister is going to take, because now you see a man set up his own robbery, and this man is sitting on a state board. So I want to know if Kamala is going to take action, if she's going to fire this man, what action she's going to take, or if she's just going to be like everything else and sweep it under the rug. You understand? And what the rest of them do, if NCW do that, what Twiggy and Matara and Mrs. and Starks and what they just now we're gonna come out in the light, what them do to get the position that they're in right now. You understand? What kind of crime they committed? I just to show you this UNC government is not to be trusted, followed by the Prime Minister. They are not to be trusted. You understand? And I listening to a clip with Kadisha Amin today speaking and saying that how speaking about the CPEP workers and them, that how the PNM was only had the CPEP workers as grass cutters and things, but all you come and close down the job, close down everything. You understand? 64,000 people on the bread line. And all you have people like Twiggy and NCW and them drawing big salary who committed crime, because wasting police time is a crime, you know. So I want to know what going on come out of this. If they're going to arrest him, because there's the questions we're supposed to be asking, if the Prime Minister is going to take action and fire him off of the state board, if he's going to be arrested, you understand? Or if the Prime Minister is just going to sweep this under the mat. These are the questions the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago are supposed to be asking about this liar. You understand? And you're coming out now and pushing a narrative that's always only one type of people who committing the crime and who pulling you down and who pulling down everybody. You understand? While it's you painting that image to make it look like the crime was so out of control under the PNM government. You understand? Because that's where you say, my van was stolen, and under this PNM government, we are not safe. You understand? And we had to vote out this PNM government. You gone so far, NCW, and sell out for what, boy? For 40,000 by NCW. I was there when you get the 40,000 in the brown envelope NCW. That's where you sell out for, boy. You take 5,000 out of that 40,000. You understand? But you're a real fraud, but you're a big sellout to Trinidad and Tobago, and anybody who see NCW, all you should just tell them, boy, you're a big sellout. You're wicked and evil by NCW, just like this UNC government. All you're wicked. That is the kind of lens all you go to get into office. You understand? Lying and deceiving the people. And I want the people and them to see and to hear this for local election will coming up. Don't let them come and lie and deceive all you, because that's what they're coming out to do. You understand? They're coming out to lie and deceive all you again. But I'm glad these things coming up so people and the UNC strong supporters could get to see what kind of government they're backing. You understand? Because all they was saying the PNM is so bad and the PNM is so thing, but they're seeing the true side of the UNC government. That's my contribution tonight, Mr. Jeffrey.
My God. You see, a lot of people only calling. A lot of people only calling my phone right now. But people we don't open the lines yet. There are at least one more person to contribute, and like Trinity, before we open the panel to open discussion where we will talk this thing at length. So let me hear from Trinity before we go on, because Trinity is our next one that always on point and a thing to say. Trinity, let me hear your contribution here tonight.
Pleasant good night, everybody. Good night to all the YouTube listeners. Good night to all the TikTok listeners. Good night, Mr. Jeffrey. Good night, everybody on the panel. I always said that NCW and the whole clown crew, influencers, are house Negroes. Let me tell you something. In this team, I am the baby blogger. But I am the only blogger that does say that NCW and all of them is a house Negro. NCW sell out itself for 30 pieces of silver, 30 pieces of chitlins. If nobody don't know what chitlins is, it's pig guts. And right now, some of we Africans in Trinidad and Tobago is still eating pig guts. And NCW is one. Last year when NCW, now I was back in UNC last year, but last year when NCW said that he got robbed, I said that's not real. He faked that. I know NCW did fake that robbery since last year, from the beginning. I never believe it because NCW them is opportunists. I never look at NCW as a stand-up guy, and I never look at NCW as a serious person. To me, he's a clown. He'll always be a clown in my eyes. Because at the end of the day, you sit down there with your full chest and you disrespect your own race. Shame. Shame on you, NCW. Because you want to please the East Indian race. Because you want to keep your job. Because you want to keep your 30 pieces of silver. You literally clown your own race to satisfy a different race. That's why your wife leave and you're minding your nephews. Because at the end of the day, he's a stupid man. Sorry, Mr. Jeffrey. I had to say it. He's a stupid man. How could you, how dare you come and say black people rob you, black people rob your house, black people never give you nothing in life. You should be ashamed. Your mother should be ashamed of you, NCW. Because the woman who gave birth to you is an African. And you just tell her that she is an idiot as well. Like how you tell the whole nation that there's an idiot. How dare you take $5,000 and stage a robbery?
Allegedly, because only Win could confirm that, and you know, we gonna leave that for Win.
Allegedly.
Yeah, we gonna leave that for Win.
How you allegedly take $5,000 and pay a man to stage a robbery so people go feel sorry for you and vote UNC? That only sense you have? This is ridiculous. The TTPS need to be involved. You need to be charged for wasting the police time. You need to be fired from the state board. And you need to sit down. Delete all your social medias and just go ghost NCW. Because you're making yourself a fool. And you say you is the captain of the UNC bloggers. And this is what you doing? People should be ashamed of you. I hope Kamala shame you and fire you. There's a disgrace. You're wicked. And you beat back Starks. I say Starks is captain of the house, Negroes, but sir, you are the captain now. Because I know your robbery was fake, but I never know that you actually stage it. I never know that you plan it. You understand? Shame on you, NCW. Shame on you, baby teeth. Shame on you. That's why your wife leave and you're minding the nephews. That's why she had to go and sleep with your brother and make children. And you're minding the nephews. You deserve it. Everything that is happening to you, that you karma for the shit you talk about the African race. You sit down and you talk about the African race like we is nothing. For 30 pieces of silver. You're a wicked person. But your karma go come. Karma don't miss your address, NCW. It doesn't miss your address. And all you have to understand that. All you too wicked out here. I said are wicked people.
Well,
And my contribution.
Well, Trinity, I hear the pain in your voice. I really do hear it. And to the people of Trinidad and Tobago who is listening, you see that NCW page? All of you must unsubscribe. That is a man that have no heart in selling people for his own gain, for his own benefit. So to all of you that are outside there that is listening on YouTube, on TikTok, and all over, because this thing going all of the Caribbean. Now we are going to open the lines and let me show you the people that this person, all these bloggers and them is disrespecting because they ride the backs of all of them. The CPEP, the URP, the forestry, and to the rest of all you that lost all your work. These UNC bloggers and them, these bloggers and them that is doing the political gootee look back on anything. Yes, and watch, before election, watch Trinidad and Tobago, because we are a law, you remember, you know.
It's for the people who worked hard to get qualified, but still sit at home depressed. It's for the people who worked hard to get qualified, but still sit at home depressed because he or she cannot get a job.
For a party that has had in its manifesto for quite some time, and one of the things you'll want to work on is creating a wider job market and getting jobs for younger people, you're not doing a very good job.
Because someone else got that job because they have a daddy and they have the connection. Election day is for the mother walking the aisles of the grocery store with her children and with a pen and a pencil or a calculator in hand because the food prices keep rising and she has to keep a tab on what she can buy. When a child picks up a snack, that mother must not have to tell that child put it back because she cannot afford it. Everybody deserves an equal chance.
Former CPAC workers say they remain in limbo following the termination of over 300 contracts due to alleged irregularities. And while they support an audit, they wanted to know when they will be rehired.
Everybody deserves an equal chance.
Landlord coming by the door. Landlord knocking on your door. You can't afford to pay rent. They're putting all your stuff at the side of the road. That is embarrassment. As you now said, the pending investigation, we will get rehired. We will get rehired. We can say, landlord, we're going to get rehired. You could wait a month or 2 or 3. How long is that?
Election day is for the mother walking the aisles of the grocery store with her children and with a pen and a pencil or a calculator in hand.
Former CPAC workers say they remain in limbo following the termination of over 300 contracts.
So Trinidad and Tobago, that is the same woman. Before election, begging you for your vote, begging you to come out and vote, begging you for your mother or your sister or your brother to come out and vote. And after election, she fire all of you. And then when Kareem Marcel come up here and he make a statement, the entire UNC cabal with people that, in my opinion, have no reasoning at all, go try to turn that into race. And this is something that actually happened in this country. We live in here and imagine people from Trinidad and Tobago is trying to convince other people from Trinidad and Tobago who experience being fired from a UNC government, all because you is PNM. All because you is PNM. This thing is facts. You hear a man come from the Ministry of National Security just 2 nights or 3 nights ago would have made a statement and saying he is working in the same ministry as Alexander, and because he would have received a contract in the PNM time he had to go. Like facts. And you seen people like NCW, people like Matara, people like Twiggy defending the move of this government. What we playing here in this country? What we playing here? And the audacity of it all. That is why I would have said, when you know you had to tell the story. The people at the how nasty and stink NCW behaving. And it's for you. You see, Chatter say it, and I hope Oye did get to what he would have said. Or one could only imagine what the rest of bloggers would have done or is doing at this point in time to make the UNC look good regardless to what. You seeing Opinion Box behaving in a certain way. You seeing Stefan Rees behaving in a certain way. You seeing David Welch, Heavy Duty, Kingsley, all of them on social media trying to tell us what we're seeing is not true. My God, man, my God, my God. Yes, it does. Some other people need to come up here, the putting up the live. Anybody, all the numbers is on the screen. The numbers to call in here tonight and for you to give your piece. The number is 3332176. If you want to join us here on on TikTok, the handle is Workers Rights 868 right up there. Workers Rights 868 on TikTok. It is currently running live across platforms. So let me bring up all who.
Mr. Jeffrey, Mr. Jeffrey, if I may just say this. You see, all of them is being exposed. NCW is being exposed. Twiggy is Queen Sim is exposing. Queen Sim is exposing Twiggy every day. You understand? Just not all of them will be exposed for nonsense. All of them.
So we get a call here. Just so, good night, caller. What's your contribution here tonight?
Good night, sir. Good night to you on the panel.
Mm-hmm.
Every single thing you all say is true. And last night I called in here from South. We had a discussion about you all say about black people and Indian people, and I told you how it goes, right?
Yeah.
Right, because everybody black.
Mm-hmm.
But the UNC people, their vote don't change it. You know who would have changed? Is the people of African descent who looking for a food card. And they get carried away. Because we know seeing the foods. Mr. Rowley was a little arrogant and thing with the behavior. I didn't like his behavior and so on. When you look at the 3 point something billion that make from national gas, I live for this, sir.
Yeah.
I live in industrial. I work in the estate too. And when you see what the fruits that have been there now, and they're taking the benefits. But Rampasad Motilal is working me. He's working me. He was fired by Proman. I could tell you, I mean, he was fired by Proman. Ramdeen and then fellas and them very, very dishonest. And when you see the people, the PNM supporters, let me look at point 14 and Labrie. Never happened. And they voted against the PNM. Nothing wrong with that. They have the choice. But I'm glad what's happening, and I wanted to see for themselves what they caused to the country. Because look at Barry behavior. Look at Monidal behavior. They're embarrassing people, the taxes, higher prices, and so on. I live in Cuba South. And last time one of the guys from Diego Martin asked me, people don't get embarrassed. It's shame to talk and see what is happening in the area because it's shame. When you ask them, well, because this is die-hard UNC area. And the shame and embarrassed to see what is taking place. When you talk to them, they just bow their heads.
And so true, because I would have talked to a lot of people from Point Lisa's side there, and they say the same thing, but people is shame. There's a shame for what they're saying. And the only thing we could do is talk, because, yeah, what I'm telling you, when we go outside to try to protest, or to try to show the special, they're locking us up. But me afraid no UNC, to tell you the truth, me afraid, the truth is the truth, and at times, we had to come to a conclusion that is either we speak out or we take advantage, and I intend to take advantage here. Your phone, you need to...
Yeah, I said last year before election, I sit back and relax and I watch what's happening. And I know exactly what's happening now. I knew that was going to take this. Because this is the behavior. I know that. I'm enjoying. I'm not talking race yet. I'm enjoying in my daughter is Indian. So I'm not talking racist. It's about the behavior pattern of the people. They don't feel their vote.
Yeah.
The people who need a food care, they change the food, and they will back up wrongly, and they will back up banning, and they will back up those chambers, and they will back up Williams
Yeah, you need to talk on the phone. Talk up on the phone. We near you.
yeah.
I ain't hear that call at all.
Yeah,
Still in that
I
call.
said these are the people who will back up Dr. Williams, and they will back up Patrick Manning and George Chambers and so on, because they need a food care. But the UNC vote don't change. That's what I'm saying. The UNC vote don't change. The UNC vote remains. You will see they'll get Cuba South, Cuba North. They'll get Naparima, they'll get all the seats. And then the PM lost Labre and Point 14 and so on and so on. They go, remember when the People Partnership? Look what they move with Gypsy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because people in African descent, when they get into power, they don't care what they get again. Full stop. I am of Eastern Center. It's reality.
Well,
So I'll listen to all you. Have a good night.
Yes, yeah, brother. Thanks for your contribution. I mean, you're always welcome here, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. So, to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, or you hear it for yourself, and next man on the ground, and they're saying the same thing that Curry Marcel said, same thing that everybody's seen on the ground. People is just shame at what they're saying. Right now, people quaking in the boots, because when Kamala passed, she taking everybody to Creole, everybody, Indian, everybody, because it's not only Creole people alone was in CPEP, URP, forestry, and all them rest of position. People is fighting for their life. And they're talking about pro-man. Boy, you're getting tapped, yes, and NGC and all them things. It has some mark the bus with that. So we have one of our distinguished guests here tonight, like Mr. Bernard, the man that had the history in his head. Mr. Bernard, good night.
Yeah, good night, brother, and good night to everyone who's on the panel here. Yeah, I am. The level of hypocrisy. Well, firstly, I want to touch on something that since we're talking about activists, right? People who call themselves social and political activists. We must differentiate between activists and hustlers. And when people could go through all kind of schemes to get the attention of people, to get money from them, that is not an activist. That is a hustler, dressed up in the coat of an activist. And in other words, that is a con. That is a con artist. So we have there are a lot of people who place themselves as representatives of people from different areas. Some are genuine, but the majority of them are just hustlers, and we need to understand who these hustlers are. And as I say, God has revealed everything coming out. What I wanted to touch on is I wanted to ask you all something, right? You hearing me?
Yes, I hear you loud and clear.
All right. Now, I want to ask Ole something, and I want Ole to answer me either yes or no, right? Now, this statement, what I'm going to read here, was from a 2011 report on Trinidad and Tobago. And the people who reported this was the Hindu American Foundation. What the Hindu American Foundation is? The Hindu American Foundation is a group of people from India or from the Indian diaspora in the States that collect information from various diasporas where East Indians are all over the world and put together a report and publish it internationally. So what they do is get the information from sources that they believe are credible sources, because they don't want any lawsuits and things. And this is 2011, and I wouldn't even go back, Renison, because I could go back and I could Yeah, you could bring the dots from 1913 to now and connect all the dots and prove that there's a nasty racist agenda against Africans. But let me just read this from 2011. And the reason why I would read this from 2011 is because it was in the recent past. So when Karim made a statement, all who bump in the gum and all the deceitful hypocrites are now waiting to know, because that parrot fella talking about taking action and police and thing, well, I want them to take action with this. Because this is stink to everybody in Trinidad and Tobago. Hear what the Hindu American Foundation said about us here. Under previous government, citizens of Indian and Hindu descent face widespread discrimination, economic and political marginalization, and were disproportionately targeted for physical violence and harassment. In July 2009, opposition member of parliament Tim Gopi Singh accused the PNM government of carrying out a policy of political discrimination that was specifically targeting Indo-Trinidadians. Similarly, the Indo-Trinbago Equality Council claimed that there was systematic discrimination against Indo-Trinidadians in the areas of nursing, state housing, military, police, public service, and elsewhere. According to Devan Maharaj of the ITEC, the only field where Indo-Trinidadians were overrepresented was in the field of the medical profession as doctors, because the field was based on merit and education. So what he said in other terms is that only the East Indians, when compared to Africans, have enough brain to become doctors. So that is why it have plenty Indo doctors. They won't talk about what was taking place at UE for decades when they were marginalizing and keeping certain people out. But listen to this nasty part. Violence directed against Indians and Hindus in Trinidad and Tobago is not uncommon. Indians and Hindus have been subjected to verbal and physical assaults by mobs of non-Indians from neighboring villages and from the northern urban areas of Trinidad, where the population is predominantly African. Now there's a lot that was said after and thing, within the report. But I know there's a blog and everybody had to talk and thing. But let me tell you something. Just that alone is enough for any representative of any constituency or of any area in North that have Africans. That alone is enough to say, here what's going on. All nasty, because this is what all they're telling the rest of the world. And we know here that all that thing is BS, because give me a damn break. Give me a damn break. 80% according to Mr. Manning, when I had led the first protest at the university, shut down the 9 campuses. And something I said there earlier clicked to me, because one of the officials back in 2011, when I say, wait now, boy, all is so heartless, boy, all fine Indian too, he said, I PNM Indian. So something I said earlier clicked that back in my mind, because I was privy to that conversation, and I was surprised to know the depth of the malice and the wickedness it have in this recalcitrant and hostile minority. Not all Indians, there's lie about Dr. Williams. Dr. Williams was speaking to a group of people who are extremists, who believe in a caste system ideology, knowing that the African man will be on the lowest end of the totem pole and treated badly. But they want that to bring that nonsense from where they came from, to bring that here and to manifest that in Trinidad and Tobago. And this UNC government, no matter all the window dressing they have as this one black and that one black, all that is window dressing. Because the actions, when you look at the actions, you would see the manifestation of what they're doing. And there's a lot of persons, it's plain to see. And even in 2011, ministers of government back in that day could have said certain things about this country, which are lies. You know, Indians are not marginalized. Where economic growth is concerned, or else they wouldn't have all the money, all this money and land and businesses, you wouldn't have that. So persons outside here know that black people is leave in town, they leave Sealots, they leave Lawantil and come down and raid Indian villages and beat them up. This is the kind of This is the kind of and Renaissance, this is real. No, I come with my thing. I have my receipts. Right? I could send you a link. I think I'll send you a link of it too, so you can see the full report. So you see how nasty people are in this country. You know why? Could you remember, Renaissance, in 2013 when they had ordered armored vehicles and body bags? You could remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. I didn't remember this distinctive details you may be talking about, but
Could
I
you
remember
remember
that.
when they ordered armored vehicles and body bags?
Yes, I remember that.
And bulletproof SUVs? UNC did? Right. That was in 2013 they did that. And let me tell you see all this thing when they're telling you the rest of the world from 2011, that's to justify things like what they want to get out of Zoso, you know. That's to justify what they want to do to black communities, you know. Because they don't have a thing planned out. When Mr. I don't know what his pronoun is, but when he talking about war, which he don't want no part of nothing. Because I always say who have the most to lose will lose the most. You know that. A man like if I had nothing, I'd have a war. Me and none to lose, you know. But before the jackass and them who racial shut up and try to just make money and thing and try to live in peace with people, because here every creed and race supposed to them fight Dr. Williams hard, you know. You know that. They fight Eric Williams hard, you know. Didn't want no independence, you know. That's why up to now, bomb they're coming for no independence parade. They so nasty, these people operating. I want to see what happened this year, but thanks to the opportunity was right here. And I listened to the program and it's very interesting. But coming back to NCW and them, we had to know the difference between hustlers and true activists, because an activist is a person who have a serious conviction based on morality, based on justice, and an activist is be compelled. That is why sometimes I see an activist getting arrested, you know, because they're compelled. That's something they can't sleep good, they can't eat good, because what they're seeing, it is against God's will, it is against all moral law, all ethics. You understand? And because an activist is a person also, let us not forget, have a deep moral foundation, you know. If you look at all activists in the world that ever did anything, they're standing on either some strong religious background, you know, that they grew up with. They mightn't still be following it because, you know, they're evolving and learning more about God and history and thing, right? And themselves, right? As well as they may still be there. But activism do have scampishness in the source. Activism do have bubble in it. Activism do have con man business and bulla man business and all this kind of thing. Activism do have that. No, I know the bulla man and them had their own activism and thing to, you know, to keep the thing tight. Right? But at the end of the day, this thing what it is we seeing here, that is, these people are not activists. We have to stop calling them activists and we have to call them for what they are, hustlers. You understand, Renison?
Yeah.
They are hustlers. Yeah. Look at the years. How long you and I talking? You can remember sometimes we want something we talking on the phone about our deep convictions, straight out and thing.
Yeah. True. Hold on, Mr. Bernard. We got good afternoon, caller.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, what's your contribution tonight on the program tonight, sir, from Jamaica?
Right. So my contribution is, are you hearing me?
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear, sir. Loud and clear.
All right, great. All right, so my contribution is this, right? It has always been, a lot of things have been said historically about Indian this, African this, Indian that, right? Not so?
Yes.
That has always been a back and forth that has been going on since independence, probably even before, right? Not so?
Yes, that is what we have been hearing. But is it true is what we're trying to unearth here on this program, because
Right.
there was a delegation, and what Mr. Bernard would have said, and I could tell you there was a delegation when Eric Williams would have gotten independence from the English, that there was a delegate of Indian people, and I talking without fear or favor, that would have went to England and say, they don't want no independence.
True.
No, but
Tie facts.
that is
Listen to me.
That's fact from the DLP.
Brother man, I know the narrative that certain people just try to push here, but go ahead, let me hear you.
no. That way said there is true. That way said there is true.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you this. If you look at other islands in the Caribbean, there's the same thing. There are islands in the Caribbean that is black, but still either dependent on the Dutch or dependent on the British. For instance, St. Martin, or dependent on the French. And if we're being completely honest, these islands are more developed economically than Trinidad and Tobago. They are more developed, right? But I understand the importance of independence, and some from the Indo side might have decided that they didn't want independence, and the Africans were more leaning towards independence, right? So I for one agree with Dr. Williams in that part, that independence was a better way to go, right? Hello,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if my audio is coming.
No, we hear you loud and clear.
All right, good. If there's any problem with the audio, let me know.
Okay.
So yes, but what I have always found to be a problem in Trinidad and Tobago, and this isn't only in Trinidad and Tobago, it's a global problem, and this global problem is what is known as systematic white supremacy. Systematic white supremacy, right? In Trinidad and Tobago, we live as though we're the only country on earth. So it's Afro versus Indian and Indian versus Africa. And we keep going on that road all the time. But what I have always been trying to say and educate both sides, or try to encourage both sides to open up their eyes and learn and read, see where the real problem lies, where the real mischief maker lies, where the real exploiters lie. And I've been exploiting both Indian and African from the beginning of time. You understand? Because Indians didn't enslave Africans, nor did Africans enslave Indians. That was never a part of our history, right? What has always been a part of our history is both us, the Indians and the Africans, both getting exploited by the whites, right? That is why in Africa, in America, there has been the civil rights movement. The civil rights movement wasn't against East Indians. It was against the white man. The boxer Muhammad Ali, when they had arrested him and tell him, why you don't go and fight for Vietnam and go and fight against the Viet Cong, you know what he said? He said that, why are you telling me to fight against Viet Cong? Viet Cong is not my enemy. You is my enemy. And by you, he mean the white people. You is my enemy. You is the one who deny me rights and deny me justice in this country. And you're telling me to go and fight a different group of people who never did me anything. That is Muhammad Ali said that.
Yeah, Mr. Jamaica, come in and land the plane now, because you what I'm saying, there's a question I want to ask you. You see the news, today, where it is.
I see plenty news.
Well, right. As speaking specifically concerning the TSU. Now,
no, I didn't see.
Kamla Prasad Bisesa would have came out in the parliament and used her parliamentary privilege to expose a protected list and call most of the MPs and them who was there prior and still there present on the PNM bench that they didn't pay any electricity rate. Several of them would have taken to social media and say that is true, that is not true, and would have provided a T&Tech building list. Now, what they would have done there, and what Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley would have done, is come out and say, Kamla, or you're lying, and look, I have my list here today. Are you willing?
Okay.
No, wait. Are you willing to say on this live here tonight that our Prime Minister have been caught in a lie. Are you prepared to say that?
Well, like I mentioned when you asked me the question, I said I didn't see the news regarding that as yet, right? But what I want to specify is one thing. A TNTech bill and a TNTech receipt is two different things. TNTech does send bills to everybody. The question is if they pay their bill. If they pay their bills, they will get a receipt showing that they paid the bill. So is it just the bill alone, or did they show the receipt where they paid their bill?
You see
Right?
Kola,
But
she was just lying, Kola, right?
No.
She's being vindictive and lying because
No.
she trying to switch the narrative from what the whole nation concerned about, which is unemployment, inflation, crime, right, and social disorder, right? Because Kola is, as you know, now you see, you could defend wherever you are, whether it's Trinidad, Jamaica, the United States, India, wherever you're from, Africa, wherever you live in, right? What we want, what Renaissance telling you now, what Workers' Rights telling you now, we here, because I heard you talk about, no white man, is the white man is the enemy. Not really, brother. Let me tell you something. Right? The reason why these persons did not want us to have independence under an African man was because of the caste system we are thinking. Right?
No.
And there's a lot that I could tell you.
No.
There's a lot that I could tell you.
Kola, I know he is a man that's come prepared with certain things. But Bernard is a distinguished writer. He's a man that's the right and he does do research. So I'm not seeing the essence in you telling him no. Because I know he can back it up. He have a book that up to today that nobody cannot refute.
No. Well, I am also a historian. I am also a historian.
Yeah, have you ever?
I have a question. I have a question. Mr. Bernard, you have 2 minutes. Let's ask this very important question. You know what I don't like? I don't like when people leave Trinidad and Tobago, go to another country, call on the platform, and bad talk their own country. Okay? That is what that Jamaican man do yesterday, and that is what he doing today. You see that strippiness where he comparing different Caribbean countries to us?
Yeah.
You listen, you see the people who is living in Trinidad and Tobago, we know what we're going through. That man who living in Jamaica and claim he's a Trinidadian, he don't know what we're going through because he's not living in Trinidad right now.
Did I ever say I live in Jamaica?
I do not like
I don't live in Jamaica, darling.
who
I'm here for
leave
vacation.
the country and
I
is
am in
talking
Jamaica
shit about
for
our
holiday.
country. Hang up on that, man. We have more callers. I fed up here.
No, I could ask him a question.
Just so Trinity, let me.
She just come with some foolishness to interrupt Bernard. I'm trying to hear what Bernard was saying.
Kola, let me ask you a question. You see how this blogger NCW lie and say that how he was robbed to make it look under the PNM the crime was so out of control to put the UNC government in power? What do you think about that?
Let me ask you something. Was crime in control while the PNM was
Kola, you ain't answering at all, and that's the thing. That thing. I like to have discussion with you.
I addressed the topic he brought. He asked me, NCW lie about some robbery that he say he had. And say that crime was out of control during PNM.
But Kola, you're trying to broaden it to make it look like it's a general question he asks here. What Chatter would have asked here is something specific about NCW, not about crime in the whole of Trinidad and Tobago. The man staged a crime and we would have brought the person on the live here tonight, just a while ago, and explained the whole story in full. Wait, the man just asked him, what do you think about that?
Well,
we know since the show started, we have been watching. We know since
I'm not
the show
informed
started,
about that matter sufficiently to comment on that. So if I'm not informed about a robbery that somebody named NCW say, I would comment on that?
Kola, you know one thing I have to tell you? You see, you and the UNC, always are bag of thieves. You and the UNC
could hug up each other and go in bed and lie down and sleep. And you're not going to call back again.
Well, that's the thing. You
And
have your
I will
opinion,
just
and
say this
everybody
on
else
top of
have
our
their
chatter
opinion.
say, you come in and you're saying, oh, Indian and Africans, we all black. But brother man, caller, we know what side you on, you know. You may be in Jamaica, but you for the rising sun. We don't know what side you on. Whether they say, whether they do right or wrong, you for the rising sun, you know, sir. We don't know that already. Because you is like
Let me
you
tell
not
you this.
saying the wrong that we going through in this country. I want you to fly back to Trinidad and live in Trinidad for 6 months and suffer how we suffering here, and then your tongue might change. Look, I don't like when all foreigners leave Trinidad and all the foreigners come and call on the life.
I've
Stop
been living in
doing that.
Trinidad
And
for
don't be bad
longer than
talking my
you.
beloved Trinidad and Tobago
I've
at
been
the end
living
of
in
the day,
Trinidad
because it's
longer
we
than
who are
you,
the
miss.
fight for we rights over here. You can say what you want in Jamaica. We
Miss,
can't say what we
I
want.
live
We
in
can be
Trinidad longer
behind
than you.
bars. Stop the foolishness.
But I
Next
don't
caller,
have to
please.
sit down in
Next.
Trinidad all the time.
Caller,
If I
before
want
you
to go on
go,
vacation, I
what
free
you
to go
think
on
about the
vacation.
caller before you go? What you think about the 500-meter limit that citizens have to face now because they create a law now where you can't protest, right? By our own buildings, what we build, what our forefathers built for our protection and our civil society rights and protection, right? And our moral, right and ethical foundation in this country to defend us. Kola, what do you think about that law?
Well, I haven't read enough on that law.
Huh.
I haven't
Oh,
read
you
enough on that
have
law to
read
try
enough.
to tell you what
It's
the
a
law
simple
said
thing.
or they didn't say.
It's
Because there's a new law.
Oh
There's a
read.
new thing on
God,
this
this
now.
one well different,
You
you know.
can't protest. The citizen cannot go and put. You know, in front of the White House, in the world biggest democracy, greatest democracy, which our democracy come from? In front of the White House, in front of that Trump place, you know, people will be protesting in front of the White House in the States. Hey, caller.
Well, people can protest
No,
anywhere
are
they
you
want.
aware of that? It's not a
Right? But
well thing. Are you aware of that?
is Trinidad in a state of emergency right now? Is it or is it
No,
not?
we have a bitch running the place, right? Who
No,
doing what
your
the
mother
hell
not
she
running the
want to
place,
do?
boy.
My mother?
Your mother not running the place.
My mother?
Right? Is the Prime Minister Kamala Prasad the sister that
My
running?
mother,
Right?
whoever you are.
So this
No,
is
well, anytime I
this is the
visit
thing,
here, you're
right?
free to come and check me out in the house.
This
Right, and I will carry you by my mother.
Brother, Mr. Man, Mr. Jamaica, I feel you trying to railroad the program here tonight. You know. I go ask you
Oh,
to
you are.
let me free up the lines here tonight. If there are other people that wishes to call, yeah.
You don't want my mother, but do you know me? Do you know Bernard Yaucheng?
Emmanuel disrespectful, boy. He really
Yeah,
disrespectful.
we have somebody running this country that licking up the place. And all you thinking, boy, this somebody night. Good night,
Well, they're
good
trying their best to defend this
good
rubbish.
good night, bad Trinity TV. Good night, bad Trinity TV. I see you always sending things. I see you always just be sending things for me on my TikTok. What is your
Yeah, I like
contribution
the
tonight on
program.
this? What is your contribution tonight on the subject that?
I would like to ask that question because this is based on Wood Rights, the platform. So I think this is fair for me to ask.
Mm-hmm.
How can the government raise fines to that extent with the cost of living being what it is?
And?
Because in America or any other country that I travel to, the cost of living, the fines is based on the cost of living. So if your minimum wage is $15 an hour or whatever, the fine is based on that price.
Right.
So if the cost of living in Trinidad is $21
Good
an
night, good
hour,
night.
okay, you pay a fine for 10,000. That makes no sense.
Just out to the bad TV. We have a caller on the line. Good night, caller.
Go ahead.
Good night.
Yes.
Again, you seem to get some kind of weird people calling in on the program. Now, I don't know if you can remember Idi Amin in Uganda. Remember, he had a problem with the Indians there, and that's why he expelled them. Here in Trinidad, Dr. Eric William worked with everybody. But you see, this what's going on here? I'm telling you, this independence celebration will be held in Skinner Park. That is how I see it. I might be completely wrong, but this is how I see it. And you know all this thing with Mars, Marcel said, the man is right. I mean, I know about racism. I've lived it. I lived it for 42 years, so I know about it. It's some of it is in your face and some of it is underneath you. And I tell you what will happen. People will get fed up in time to come. There'll be a big protest. Half of those Africans on the UNC party will have no other options but to close the floor. Because I just look at them, and they always look like they're not comfortable there. Just imagine Kadisha Amin saying that you see URP workers and they were slave workers. How the hell can you come out with something like that? Raise the minimum wage if you feel that bad about it. So I just think that it makes it. I mean, I'm comfortable. I don't live off the government for anything. I'm comfortable, but I can't live somewhere being comfortable and seeing my brothers struggle.
Yeah.
Well,
thanks for your honest opinion here tonight, caller, because I mean, you would have started off with something that they say, yeah, we just get some weird callers from time to time. Thanks for your contribution, sir.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you.
Yes, man.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Yeah, before we go on, we have our next caller here online. Good night, caller. Good night, caller.
Workers' right.
Yes, good night. Good night, ma'am. Hello?
Good night.
Yeah, listen in the phone now because you're listening to it on your TV in the back there we hearing it. Listen in your phone and go have a delay now. Talk to me on the phone. What's your contribution here tonight? Because it sounds like you have some contribution. What's your contribution? Oh, you see what is going on? You listen to the phone now, man. Listen to the phone. Now, Trinidad TV. We was talking about the fines.
I was saying that the fines should reflect the cost of living. So if the cost of living is at $21 an hour, how can anybody working for that kind of money pay a $10,000 fine? Or $15,000 fine? That's crazy. So that to me that's like a slap in everybody's face. I think that affects no matter what party and that affects everybody. That I would think.
What about the fact, right? Right? I just want to reverse a little bit before the fine, right? Reverse a little bit before the fines, right? Renaissance played a video just now, and this is why I used the word bitch earlier, because Renaissance played a video where Kamala was saying, and in a passionate way, the single mother who's shopping and that child pick up a snack should not be telling the child to put it back, right? You have to look at what she was saying before elections about these fines and taxes and everything. And when you really examine this whole thing and where we are now, you see she play us for assholes in this country. And straight in our face.
I agree.
That is an immoral thing. And let me tell you, see any other country and what we call first world, people would have hit the street in a hard way.
They would have riot.
They would have riot in a serious way. This is a real nasty thing to do, people, because we tend to take things, well, okay, now there's a politician, they say that, no, no, because we give these power.
Do you remember what happened in Kenya last year when they tried to raise certain taxes on the citizens? And then it happened in Nepal. So this is something that government have been trying to do, and the people have been standing up against the government, imposing all these unnecessary taxes on them that is going to increase the cost of living. So I believe that the only way this is going to is people have to stand up. There's no way. There is not enough police to control the whole population when they come out.
Nah.
You understand? Even if you combine the army and the whole
they
don't have enough people to control the whole population. So if the population comes down to Port of Spain, they can't do anything.
Nah.
You understand? The most they can say is whatever they want to make up and say. But the fact is that is like a part of the constitution. If you don't like what's going on, you come out and you stand up and you let the people know, yo, well, you go to, where you go, we live on the streets just now.
Yes.
We go live on the streets, but like all they want people to be sleeping like homeless people all over the place. That's what they want.
Well, let me tell you something very quick to answer your question. Very, very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
A man called F.E.M. Hussein in 1913. That time Dr. Williams was 2 years old. So this thing I started no period. 1913. Here what it is F.E.M. Hussein said. In a nutshell, here what he said. The African is not as productive as the East Indian. And if circumstances do not compel him to leave the colony, he would naturally die out. And Indians would be the masters in the field, the office, and the shop. This is 1913 we're talking about. The same man who said that was a foundation member of the PDP, which turned into the DLP, which turned into Club 88 and the UNC. So we're looking at a mentality. To answer your question, yes. You see that, so if circumstances do not compel him to leave the colony, he would naturally die out. Who does say that kind of shit to us? Who would rather look at you hungry and you're dying on the side of the road and watch you and just laugh at you and pass? What kind of person will do something like that? Because of how you look.
Somebody you look a racist, somebody you looking down on him, you feel better than him.
Right, and you and I know that the racists, any part of the world, no matter you white, black, green, whatever, brown, whatever, the racist is a man with an inferiority complex. So he lies.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
He has an inferiority complex.
That's a fact. Every time he watch you, he get intimidated by you.
He get intimidated because he knows things that you could do that he can't do better than you.
Yep.
And this is the whole thing. Because with all the we're trying to tell this thing real deep, but at the end of the day, here we are. Because let me tell you, you asked a question just now, what do you want people to do? Die on the side of the road? Yes.
But before people die on the side of the road, people are going to become rebellious. Do you remember the people?
Exactly.
It had NAF. I think what NAF was the name of the group that back in the days they initiated boroughs to go and clean up. You know why them was formed?
NAF, National United Freedom Fighters.
Correct. You know why that was formed? For the same thing.
Yeah.
The same exact thing that's going on right now, that was formed. The same exact thing that's going on right now, Abu Bakar running the Red House for. Same exact thing.
Yeah.
You understand? So it's like every couple decades we just run into this problem that we have to stand up and fight for your rights all over again.
But Renison, tell me something. You saw that man a living penal boy who called in and say you from Jamaica? Wow, you seen that Jamaica number?
Yeah, he calling from Jamaica, but we know he from Trinidad. You understand? And we know he from Trinidad. And you see, you what fretting me about him. In the face of obvious facts. My boy saying politically using the political way out. He trying to be politically correct. So I didn't read up on that. So I know the full details. So I can't give a response. Nonsense.
Conveniently,
Nonsense.
Yeah, he do that conveniently.
Yeah,
because
nonsense.
all the time he pretending to know about everything, and once he could bring his idea around.
Well, I would have seen him would have been engaging in hedging when he would have talked about all the rest of islands and them, and he would have come in with the comparison to say black people. I pick up on a minute to say black people could not have run Trinidad properly because he would have said they was still run by the colonial island. Yes, for independence. But we see that it still has ties to other islands and watch how good. I understand the language. He feel he could come wrong me them nonsense. I understand.
What he forget that before Dr. Eric died, that every Trinidadian had $1 million in the World Bank. Nobody does remember these things. And for we to have that in the bank, the country had to be run very well.
We
to
forget
have these kind of resources.
He forgetting that he talking to intelligent people. That way he forget.
No, he forgetting he's talking to people who's well informed. That's what he
Yeah,
forgetting. People who's well
very
informed.
well informed. So he forgetting that.
And people, you know
All
what I
kind
say
of
that?
country run bad, be bailing out Jamaica Airlines and bailing out all kind of Caribbean country and they will run bad. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
And this is over the last 30 years, we've been bailing out all Caribbean countries. Then natural disasters come, we first there. How we run bad? Where the money coming from for these things?
Hold on there a second, bad Trinity TV. We have a caller on the
No
line.
problem.
Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon.
Yes, caller. What's your contribution here tonight?
Well, I'm glad to see you find somebody. Good night to everybody. Yeah? Glad to see you find somebody with the history from a way back that tells you why we're going to eat grass, why this woman is behaving like as she's behaving. This is a long line. This is people waiting for 70 years. That is patience to get to do what she's doing now. Right?
That is patience
And I'm
and
glad
conviction.
you have that man there who knows the history and could enlighten us. Now, one of that reading he gave in the beginning, very few of us know of that. What is happening here now, that the people of my age and probably his knowledge will know or could relate and realize what is happening here. This is a long, the culmination of a long wait. Let me tell you something. These people, these Indian people are separated into two groups. You know. There was a group that got away from this set of people by joining the PNM, without which Eric Williams might not have won that election. And these people have followed us until they reach now. When they believe that Trinidad and Tobago and everything, they don't know about that part of the history. I think Pakistan and India problems had something to do with that at that time. This man who's there could tell you about that. Anyway, what we find now is that the people that you hear her calling the president, LATT, the mostly I think is Indians, right? And she called them PNM. These are Nimakaram, you know. And she ain't bothering with them at all. So they fall under us. But I think some of them made a mistake and believe that they're going back home. Not only the PNM Africans refused to vote, some of them went back home, only to realize that home is, they don't have no home. Their home is Trinidad. We are Trinidad, yeah. These people are still sing and watch all what they're doing. Don't be afraid if you hear a boatload, another fata thing or whatever come back to Trinidad, you know. Because they building houses, they alienating people, they pushing people out, they're making space, you know. They're making space for invasion.
Caller?
Yeah.
Caller? Okay. I'm going to verify what you're saying here. Between 2010 and 2015, the Express newspaper has it as 110,000 illegal immigrants came in here. You know? And let me tell you something. Yes, I have it in my book too. That's why I tell you can't interfere with me so. Now from my research, is close to 140,000, but the Express said 110,000. And let me tell you where they came from. Could you remember when the so-called partnership came into power, when Kamala came into power the last time, she lifted visa restrictions from Indians from India. She lifted visa restrictions. Oh yeah, that is one of the first things she did from India and from Russia. Now she put in Russia as a kind of, to make it look good. Right? But yeah, she no Russian ain't coming here with the thing, but she lifted visa restrictions. And she opened the borders. You could remember that. Cancel the OPVs. The borders were exposed. A lot of East Indian persons came from Guyana, Suriname, and from India and Trinidad and Tobago. As a matter of fact, one of the greatest population explosions took place in Sandy Grande, you know. And let me tell you something. When a squatter goes into an area to squat, he goes there because he down and out, he desperate, and you know, he might knock up some board and think he might carry a barrel to fill some water, you know, off the roofing, you know, and he will dig a hole to relieve himself. These areas that they came to in different areas that I could name had been recently paved, you know, roads, infrastructure. We talk about electricity and water infrastructure, you know, and through the Ministry of the People at that time, I think they had grants up to $50,000 or some kind of thing, you know, to help to assist, you know. So don't get tired. What you're saying is a fact. Because this has been
I also have a problem with.
I have to. Hey, Renaissance.
Yes.
Renaissance, I have to go. I have a call coming in.
No problem. We'll talk again. Yeah.
So I have to take it.
Yeah,
right?
No problem.
My apologies.
You see this delegation business to Venezuela.
Mm-hmm.
That is something that in all this discussion we having with this man from America, they're busy now. You know, they don't have time to do what is she expecting something. You know, what I wanted the PNM to be doing is to making the people understand that when times hard, what the PNM did for the poor people so that they were employed, they could have got a bread on the table. Although it's not a big bread, might not be a big bread, but it had some cheese. But what them wanted was ham. But we couldn't afford to give them that because the money, what Kamala and them problem right now is the money, and they know that sometime in 27 money is supposed to come. Not that they work for it, you know, it's supposed to come because Raul tell you that before. They believe that. But they don't want you to believe that. So right now they're fighting away. They're doing all kind of things to get to that time. You know. This is just marking time here. They're trying to make it until that time. And when they reach that time, they're going to keep on building houses for rich people. You could understand that? Rich people need you to build houses for them. I go on.
Yeah, thanks for your contribution here tonight, brother. Thanks for your contribution. Yes.
Yeah.
So everybody here is disgruntled concerning what we would have been seeing in this country and Trinidad and Tobago. The talk about Kamla Prasad Bisesa and how deceitful she is. Now, after the trade union march last year, I would have seen Kamla Prasad Bisesa mount a platform, mount the stage after, accompanied by Roger, Clydelda, Isa Inesto, and would have mount that platform and lie to the people of this country, and lie to the children that looking up to she, and lie all the place. And I will wanted to remember that fact here tonight before we close off, because here what I'm going to do, I want to play that clip for you. Try to understand what we are dealing with. We are dealing with a person that cares nothing for the people of this country. That cares nothing if you can't pay a bill. That cares nothing that when at the end of the day you can't mind your family, they don't care about that. And we have to put a stop to it democratically. And as I say before, I have no fear. I have no fear of those who could kill the body. I have no fear of Kamla Prasad Bisesa the Attorney General, Roger Alexander, Wayne Sturge. I have no fear of them. Because I know that there is a God. And even if I ain't see the promised land, the Father already told me, send it to me in a vision, what it looks like. So let me play this video here and we'll come back on the back end and we will close off the program here tonight. So let me play this clip.
Member of Parliament for Port Shortland,
Can I tell you why I can do this? Because I'm not the 1%. I am one of you. I am one of you. I have heard you talk about myself. I have come just like you from the working class. And sometimes no working class because you have no job. I understand what it is. Because I've been there, done that. I've been there with my family, with my parents, like yours who worked really hard. I give you that commitment. If you work like me, if you take my hand and we walk together, I will keep my commitment to the workers. I will do it. But one hand doesn't clap. We cannot say we will take you forward when you do not want to go forward and you want to operate to stay backward. What do we always say in the labor movement? Forward ever! Forward ever! Forward ever! Backward never! Never, never! So take my hand together. Let us rebuild this country.
That was Kamala Prasad Bisesa, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. Who would have said she understands the plights of the people? Who would have said to us in this country that she was here where we was? She was here and she feel and understand the pain. But yet still, you take away jobs for people at the breadline, you double the traffic fines. And you still want people to follow you. You shook Arnold Roberts and us. You shook Philip Edward Alexander and us. You shook people like Twiggy that have no respect for this population. You have people like NCW that lie and try to orchestrate something, and we are calling on the TTPS to say something about it. So before we end up the program, we have one more person on the panel chatter. What's your contribution here tonight in closing, brother?
Can really make no sense here because they are going to turn a blind eye on this whole situation. But still, we are calling on the Homeland Security Minister and we're calling on the Commissioner of Police to investigate this NCW. You understand? Because this man is sitting on a state board and orchestrate his own robbery and pay people $5,000. It's alleged he pay a man $5,000 to stage his own robbery and waste the police time just to make the government of the day look so like they could come and fix the crime. Is this a government what we want to govern Trinidad and Tobago? Is this a government we can trust going forward? We cannot trust this government. This government showing me daily, starting with closing down the CPEP, URP, forestry workers. Look at the ends this government is going just to get into power. You understand? This is our government. We have to come together, just like what the last person in the panel come. They don't have enough police and soldiers to lock up all our way. Going into the jail, or you're gonna mix with criminals. You understand? If we speak out for our rights, we get in a permanent detention order. All your citizens, all you find that is right. You understand? All your shook Alexander